that when you help poor by one hand, your other hand should not know whom you have helped. It gives me immense pleasure in proposing vote of thanks to India's first religion and law conference in any national law university. As Professor Cole Durham was saying, that there are people who are secular fanatics. So in law schools also, we thought we have nothing to do with religion. The only talk of religion we were doing was some discussion on freedom of religion under Article 25. Though we realize that there are two papers which are compulsory as per our regulator, Bar Council of India's, the family law papers, which are largely religion and law papers. But in our this quest for getting quick corporate placements, there is a mad rush for specialization in IPR and in corporate law and to some extent constitutional law. So family law as a subject is going out of fashion. In Aligarh, which is a Muslim university, so to say, if my information is correct, because I am not there for almost 7-8 years now, for last 10 years, the LLM specialization of family law is not on. These days, you pick up any law journal, you will not find an article on Hindu law. You are not likely to find an article, good article, on Muslim law, even though both the papers are compulsory and our courts are administering personal laws. As Flavia Agnes rightly said yesterday, that this is how we are managing our country. You may have codified personal law or uncodified personal law. So Hindu Marriage Act or Hindu Succession Act, you have a codified law and then you recognize customs and try to codify, but we need to know religion, and therefore we have taken the first step as the leading national law university of the country, that we will not see that religions are all evil and religions are responsible for everything bad in this world. Of course, there is much truth in what Father Hans Koeng said, that there shall be no lasting peace in the world unless there is peace between and within religions. As you know, Shias and Sunnis are fighting in Pakistan. So within religions, or what you see in Syria, there has to be some amount of peace. Lately in our country, why the conference was planned, suddenly religion and law has occupied a lot of public space in terms of discussions on TV. So some women in Bombay took up the case of entry into Haji Ali, and similarly there are women asking for entry in Shani temple and then in Sabrimala. So temple entry laws were made some 70 years ago, but at that time we did not have 24/7 channels, so public was not educated about temple entry laws. But now in an age of new media and social media, these things are catching up our imagination, and within the community now people are coming up and look at the argument which Muslim women of today is making up, and the matter is also in the Supreme Court. They are not asking us to have a secular law. The demand of Muslim women at the moment is, give us the rights which Quran gives. We were just having a discussion here about the 7 steps of divorce, that it is not popular. Everyone thinks that a Muslim divorce happens like instant coffee, in few seconds that the husband will come and will just say XYZ and it is over. So our women, educated women, modern progressive women, they are saying, at least in the name of freedom of religion, give us the right which scriptures have given. But the irony of the matter is that we want to deny them even those rights. And therefore the question of rights of minorities within minorities. So there, of course, there is a case to concede rights to religious minorities and other minorities, but then that right is not to be abused and misused to violate the rights of women within those minorities. I believe with the help of Professor Cole Durham and Professor Brett Schaff, we have taken the first step in the direction of law schools engaging ourselves in a very sober, non-emotional manner with religion and law. I think the next step is, as I have been repeatedly saying, that we have to engage clergy with in this debate, because unless clergy agrees to progressive interpretations and liberal interpretations, my writing or Supreme Court giving some judgment saying triple divorce is no more valid, it will not work on ground, because we have very limited audience. People would like to follow the clergy. So unless ulama themselves come forward and they say that the triple divorce which we have been having so far is not the right kind of divorce. So let ulama seize this opportunity and interact with intellectuals and initiate a kind of reforms which country badly needs. And I say it is in their interest. As about secularism, I say that it is in the interest of religion that a state should not have any religion. Because if a state has any religion, a state would interfere in religious matters. Similarly, it is in the interest of the clergy now to seize this opportunity and agree to progressive liberal interpretations, because if they don't do it, next day our women will say, go to hell, we will not follow any law. We want same law of divorce which is applicable to the other communities. Therefore, if you want your women to continue to follow your religious law and remain within your community and don't reject your faith, then it is a time where you must come forward and agree to some kind of reforms. I have many gratitudes to acknowledge, of course, for the valedictory session. I am extremely grateful to my Lord, who is here for a few hours. His flight reached here around 12 o'clock and he reached here at 1:20. And in few minutes he will be back to airport. And then tomorrow he has a hectic day in the Supreme Court. My Lord, it is indeed always pleasure to meet you and to welcome you in Nalsar as our former Chancellor. You have been patronizing our university, and we look forward to your continued patronage. And there will be more occasions when we can have you for longer duration, when you can interact with our students. And my own Chancellor, who is man of few words, he is in the traditional mold of judges, where judges speak only through their judgments. So he prefers to remain silent, but in terms of helping the university, whenever I take any file to him, within minutes we get clearance. I am sure that he will continue to lead us for in future also, and would help us in all our future academic endeavors. Our ICT team has been working round the clock to make this function on time, and we are going to put all our sessions on YouTube at Nalsar's website, and also I believe at the center's website also. So this will all go in public domain. People will be able to access it. I'm also grateful to my office, Naglakshmi and Chidambaram, Anil, Sudhir and others. My young colleague Siddharth was the backbone of this program, It is a rare occasion I see him sitting. Otherwise, he would prefer to stand. Session after session, I see Siddharth Chauhan simply standing. It would have been impossible for me to organize this program at this level without Siddharth's help. And of course, whatever happens in a university, ultimately it is the registrar who does all the work. So I am grateful to my registrar, Professor Balakista Reddy. I was busy in sessions, so He went to the airport to receive my lord today and day before to receive His Lordship Justice Lokur. We had delegates from all over. I am grateful to each one of them, particularly Professor Cole Durham and Professor Brett Schroff for giving NALSAR this opportunity to organize this program. And I am confident that the kind of deliberations and interest and the issues we were able to flag, this will not be just one-off event. We have to sustain this engagement and this dialogue of religion and law. And as I said, that first take all law schools on board. We have from Northeast Professor J.S. Patil. We have Dean from Tripura. But I think we need to take other law schools also on board, and then take and engage at least liberal clergy, that they should also become part of this dialogue, so that ground situation changes. Because mere normative changes in law and Supreme Court's judgment here and there really doesn't do much. So already we have number of High Court decisions on triple divorce saying that triple divorce does not dissolve marriage. We have a Supreme Court judgment of 2002 in Shamimara reiterating all the High Court judgments that triple divorce in one go does not dissolve marriage. And yet after 15 years we are again in the Supreme Court asking Supreme Court to yet again do what it has already done to say that triple divorce does not dissolve marriage, because Supreme Court's judgment really don't bring about a social change. If we want to bring about a social change, there is a need to work on the attitude of our citizens, particularly men in this case, and I am confident that we will be able to do it. And as I said, that family law is not the only thing in law and religion. There is more to it. You have a religious endowment law, you have waqfs, you have religious trust, you have 153A and 153B even in IPC. We continue to have blasphemy law. Of course, our blasphemy law is more liberal than the British blasphemy law. As in England, only when you say something against Jesus or Christianity, it is an offense. In our case, you may say it against any god or any prophet or any sacred book. It will be a blasphemy. A few months back in state of Punjab, they had increased punishment for blasphemy through a state amendment and made it 10 years imprisonment for that. So there is so much, the whole inheritance law. There have been Privy Council decisions holding idol as a person and therefore they can possess properties. So there is so much to do in religion and law. It's not just a family law issue. It's not just a constitutional law issue. I think we need to research it further, and I'm sure as Professor Cole Durham and our chief guest also said, that these are different rivers to take you to one destination, and one destination is that something good happens to the entire humanity and all of us live together and live in peace, and the similarities between religions are to be celebrated rather than the differences, because differences are minimal. Thank you very much.